Hello and welcome to another Bushwhacker review. Today we are going to be taking a look at Chad Little's John Deere Ford from 1998. As you can see, this is a Racing Champions Authentics release, one of the early Racing Champions Authentics releases. And also, this was a special Mac Tools release. You get it straight from Mac Tools, which is kind of something that we really haven't seen anymore. You know, Mac Tools had kind of promo-y diecast, Snap-on had promo-y diecast. The closest we've got now is that Mahle, M-A-H-L-E, that one company, that contingency sponsor, for some reason makes occasional petty promos. They made the SDP car from a couple years ago, and they actually just made Bubba Wallace's Click and Close car again. Not sure how you get a hold of those, but that's the closest we have anymore to like a different company making a promo of a diecast that's really not their own car. But anyways, why don't we just focus on this car for now. It's got some nice box artwork. You got Mac Tools Motorsports. You got Racing Champions Authentics, number 97, John Deere. 124 scale diecast stock car replica, sequentially numbered chassis, 1 of 4,000, limited edition. All of that good stuff, all around. Here is the car itself. The perfect example of a paint scheme that is legendary and iconic for a driver that really wasn't anything special. When I got this car, I had to look up his stats on Racing Reference, and he has not good stats at all. He had 217 cup races, only 16 top 10s, and only 1 top 5. That is not good, especially being at Roush in kind of their prime. I don't know if this is really their prime, but like the 90s were probably the biggest Roush has ever been. So that is really kind of cool. And that is kind of sad for Chad Little. Currently there's Jesse Little, who runs some races, who is his son, or his dad is his son. Which he was even kind of commenting, because John Deere is apparently coming back to sponsor Ricky Stenhouse Jr. this year in a multi-race deal. Please sponsor Darlington. I want this paint scheme back at Darlington. It even has a 7 in the number. You can easily make like the 17 font kind of in this number font and give us the classic John Deere look. If they run that, I will get that immediately when it comes out. Well, if they offer it, because last year Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s car, they're like, oh, we're going to offer it, and then it just never came. I guess they just, by the time they got approval to offer, they were like, who cares? It's just a Ricky Stenhouse Jr. car. I don't know, but hopefully they offer it. And hopefully we get a brand new paint scheme on top of that. If it is a multi-race deal, I hope they make like some brand new, kind of modern John Deere paint scheme for most of the races, but then run this car at Darlington. So that'd be cool. Being a Racing Champions Authentics, it does still come with a few normal things. You, of course, have your little template. And it also does come with a Racing Champions Authentics Mac Tools Special Certificate of Authenticity, which actually does mention the official body template. That's cool. But anyways, let's get down to the car itself. Do a quick 360 of this thing. Worth pointing out that this does suffer from a pretty common issue with older diecast, and as you can see, that the paint is cracking in tons of different spots. It happens the most with Racing Champions diecast, but I've also seen it happen pretty commonly with Team Caliber diecast. I've never seen it happen to Action diecast, though, which is kind of strange to say. Maybe they did something better with their paint, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure if you have a Racing, or if you have an ARC, Action Racing Collectibles, one of those with this kind of issue, I feel like there's something wrong with the car itself more than just their painting process, because Racing Champions, this happens to a lot. You can see it's all cracked right there. You can see down the side of the yellow it's cracked. You can see the whole roof is all crackly. You can see back there it's like cracked under the clear coat. Like you can't feel it, but if you shine the light on it, you can see all the cracks back there. It's definitely a shame, but there's really not much you can do about it. That's kind of the problem. It's just a, production issue. Which I'm sure that causes a bunch of issues for tons of people, because, somebody gets a car like this and is like, goes to the seller and is like, what the hell? You sold me a damaged car, asshole. When it's really just a production issue. Collectors and, dealers and everything have no control over this. But anyways, let's get down to sponsors. On the hood, you have John Deere. You got Ford Taurus, number 97, and Roush Racing. Got a nice metallic silver splitter. That looks cool. Down the side, you got John Deere. You've got John Deere Motorsports. In front of the rear wheel, you have Mac Tools, Sykin's, Speed Pro, Comp Cams, and Romanese Ford. You've got Ford on the B-post. Does have your regular normal contingencies and stuff. Does have Winston Cup and Bud Pullward and all that. Does have the NASCAR 50th anniversary logo. Do they ever really actually run like that? I always remember Winston Cup and then Bud being right under it. Not kind of side by side like that. I do really like how that one, it's like, oh, we're going to color all your logos to be like John Deere's colors. And Valvoline's like, hell no, you're not. That's just funny to me. I don't know. On the back, you got John Deere number 97. You got nothing runs like a Deere. You got a Ford logo down there. I do like how there's always splits in these spoilers specifically to put the template on. I find that funny. I don't know. You got John Deere in the John Deere logo on the deck lid. Got the same stuff down the other side. Take a look under the hood. See, it says John Deere under there. There's the engine detail if you want to see that. These early Racing Champions diecast, the Authentics versions of them, are really not as good as some of the later ones, or not as overly detailed. If you remember by the, early 2000s Racing Champions Authentics had, opening trunk hood roof flaps, had hood hinges. Some of them had removable tires. They were very detailed diecast. This is definitely not at that level, but it is still much more detailed than what we kind of had. I would honestly consider this almost more detailed than a, action ARC at that time. Sadly, it doesn't have many opening parts. The trunk does not open, and neither does the roof flaps. See, it still does have the little antenna right there. The detailed interior is still there. It's got probably much better detail than Action had at the time. The window net is, kind of rubbery. Kind of like a softish plastic that's a little rubbery. There's the other side of the car. You can see even the bottom is probably more detailed than Action. It does have a Mac Tools logo, so you can tell if it's one of these special Mac Tools releases. As you can see, this is number 2,277 of 400. There you can see pretty nice detail. Got a nice metallic silver exhaust piece and bottom of the engine. It is very sparkly. This piece is a little weird, like the fuel cell in the back is like a separate piece. Feels a little loose, but whatever. Like I said, this is kind of the perfect example of a car that's more iconic than the driver. Everyone remembers this John Deere car, and everyone loves this John Deere car, but not everyone loves Chad Little. Well, apparently some people hate John Deere too. They had some repair cost or something, or you had to bring it to them to repair your John Deere tractor. If you touched it, it voided a warranty or something. I don't really know. But I just saw when they, all the announcements came out about them coming back to Roush and Stenhouse, there were some people that were just like, those assholes are back? How dare you? Fuck John Deere, fuck Stenhouse. And it's like, oh, okay, chill. Why are you blaming the driver? I hate when people blame the driver for a sponsor's issues. That's something that always kind of annoyed me. It's I hate John Deere, so now anyone who's ever had a John Deere tractor and everyone who ever has anything John Deere, I immediately hate. It's okay, good for you. But I especially saw on Reddit. Reddit's always kind of funny to just get some people to freak out over something as much as oh, I hate John Deere, so now if I see John Deere anything, I'm going to have a, mental breakdown on the internet. If you want this car, there's a bunch of different versions you can get. You can get a basic retail version of it. This is probably the best for this version of the Taurus. Team Caliber did make it in 2000 on the other Taurus body. If you really want the best version of a diecast, you can get the Team Caliber. But I kind of wanted this, the kind of Taurus people call ugly, that original Taurus design, because it just has such a unique look to it that I kind of wanted this version of it. So this is a very nice detailed diecast. The chipped, the cracked paint is definitely annoying, but like I said, it's really nothing you can't really avoid it on older diecast. You might get lucky and get one of those cars that has never left the box. It might be perfect in a cool location and just looks fine, but this is going to happen more so than not, which is definitely a shame. This car is still much better detailed than ARCs as far as I'm concerned. Yes, the ARCs had the opening trunk, this one doesn't, but I really don't care about seeing the fuel cell. But just all the other details on this car are just amazing. I mean, even the rims. You can see it has a chrome metallic red edge, the green rims, the silver lug nuts. It's cool. It's a cool diecast. But I think that's pretty much all there is to say. This has been a review of Chad Little's John Deere Ford. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.